Got another radish for you today called a French breakfast radish. This is a very common radish and it's very tasty. So if you want to start this in your garden this year, or especially if you're introducing children to growing gardens, start out with a French breakfast radish. It's an easy radish to grow and it's very fun, tasty too. So we'll be right back in a minute. The way I like to do my radishes is I like to do them in containers because it's easy to get to, it's easy to water, and it's easy to harvest. And it takes up just a little bit of space, and I get a very high yield out of a small area. I use these containers here. I got them at Lowe's. They're real cheap. And what you want to look for on your container is right here is a little, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little recycle triangle it's got a number 5 in the middle, number 5 PP underneath it. That right there means it's safe for growing food products in it. So I can grow my vegetables in this container and I don't worry about it. The next step in the process is I drill some holes in here. As you can see, I've drilled several holes. I want to have a good drainage in here. I don't want it to stand in water in the bottom. It causes root rot on my radishes because this is a root product, a root vegetable. So you don't want it wet in there. You just want it to be just a little bit moist. So I got my holes drilled. Next thing you're looking for in your containers is you want at least 6 inches for radishes, and as you can see, I'm about 6.5 inches deep. So that's plenty for radishes. So first thing I do is I mix up my soil is 1 part peat and 2 parts potting mix, which I've already mixed up. And once I have that ready to go, I have that peat in there because I want that peat to help retain moisture in this container so it doesn't dry out. The peat doesn't really add any nutritional value. What it does is it helps to retain the water. Okay, you don't want to put any fertilizer in with your radishes. Don't put anything to fertilize them. All the fertilizer does is cause them to bolt and you don't get the good radish. So just put it in just the plain old soil with the peat and water it regularly and you'll have good results. So let's get this thing full of dirt. I like to fill the container up to where it's just about 1 inch from the top. That leaves kind of a basin in the top of this container, so when I'm watering, it'll have a place to catch that water so it doesn't run out. And that looks like that's pretty even. Okay, flatten it out, got it in, about 1 inch down. Looks good, okay? Okay, I got my soil in just right to suit me. Now, next step is I'm gonna moisten this down real good. And what this does is it gets that soil pliable and it helps it to kind of pack itself just a little bit. So when I use my template, it'll be able to hold the shape of the holes. And I'll show you that in just a second. Let me get this watered down. Okay, now we'll let this settle down and soak down through the container, and then we'll take it to the next step. Okay, we've got it saturated and it's soaked down. And the next step is I tap the container just a little bit. A couple of taps, that helps to set that soil down deep. Then I use my template, and I made this up because I use many of these containers, and I grow extra dwarf bok choy, all kinds of radishes. So if I have several of these containers to do, it made it worth my while to make a template to fit in it. And this one gives me 36 holes on 3-inch centers. And when I push it in, it goes down 3/4 of an inch deep. Of course, we're not going to plant our seed with that much soil on top of it. I'm going to show you how to do that next. So here's how we use the template. I put the template in, and all I do is just push it down in. Pull the template straight out, and you can see the pattern of holes is just right. Makes it easy to do. Next step is I take the seeds. I get some seeds in my hand, and the hardest part of the job is to get that little tiny seed where you're only picking up one seed at a time. So you just want to get one seed in each hole. Okay, one seed per hole. Let me get all the seeds in, and we'll be right back and we'll take it to the next step. Okay, remember I said we don't want to cover the seed just because the hole was 3/4 of an inch deep. Doesn't mean that's how deep we bury it. I had to make the peg on the template 3/4 of an inch deep, because if I try to make it only 1/4 of an inch deep, it's so small that I can't make the wood work that way. So I had to make it at least 3/4. It allows me to push a hole down in there, and I've got the seed in, and to cover that seed, all I do is I collapse the hole around the side, and then I cover that up. And as you can see, it's not level with the top of the hole. Let me do one up here close where you can get a good view of it. Can you see right in here real good? Mm-hmm. Can you see my hand right there?
Yes.
Okay, see how it's in there? Mm-hmm. I just collapse the sides. And see, it still does it. Let's do one more over here so we're not in the shadow. Let's do right here. See that hole right there? Mm-hmm. And if I close up that hole, I collapse the side and I do it down, pack it down a little bit. You can see it's not level with the top surface, so it's not 3/4 of an inch deep. It's really only been buried about 1/4 of an inch to maybe 3/8 of an inch deep. And it'll leave like a dimple in here. That's the depth you want to get it at, because if you bury them too deep, they're just gonna rot. So let me go ahead and get all these covered up. We'll go to the next step. Okay, I got our French breakfast radish set out on the grow table. We're gonna let them grow, and we'll be back in increments of 10 days, and we'll watch the progression of our radish every 10 days and watch them as they grow all the way up till we harvest. So we'll be back in about 10 days. Well, the French breakfast radish have been in the container for 10 days, so I want to give you a progress report. Take a look at how they look. We'll be back in 10 more days and take another look at them. So we'll see you soon. French breakfast has been growing for 25 days. I couldn't get out here at the 20-day mark because of hailstorms and high winds and rains, but it finally stopped. So I came out today. This is 25 days, and in 3 more days they'll be ready to harvest. I could probably harvest them right now if I wanted, but I'm going to give them 3 more days. But let me pull one out. You can see I got plenty of foliage. I'll pull one out. You can see this. Can you see that right there? It's all red. It looks a lot better when you wash it off, but see how the bottom's got kind of a white bottom, and that white can go up a little higher. But you can eat the leaves and you can eat the bottom. So this is a good radish, and you see how long it is. It makes a pretty good little radish. Nancy likes to make a kimchi out of this. She calls it the ponytail kind, where you split it and it has the leaves. So she gets it all. So we'll be back in 3 days and we'll harvest the rest of these. So we'll be back 3 days from now and we'll get the rest of them. Well, the French radish are ready to pull out of the ground. They've been in there 28 days, so I'm gonna pull them out of the containers. And you saw a little close-up shot right there of what they look like. Let me pull some out and show you up close. There you go. Can you see them? Beautiful radish, red on the top, they're long, and they're white on the bottom. Really a nice looking radish. So let's get these all pulled out of the container and cleaned up, and we'll be ready to eat some. Well, we thank you for watching on our little French breakfast radish video. We hope that we simplified that somewhat to make it pretty easy to do, and it's really a pretty good tasting radish. I think you'll like them. So give them a try if you've never had them before. And we appreciate you watching our videos, and if you like our channel, please subscribe, be a part of our YouTube family, and always remember where this beautiful harvest come from. So until we see you next time, always remember, by His hands we are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Have a blessed day.
Thanks for watching our videos. We really love making them. If you like our videos, please like our Facebook page to get the latest tips and tricks. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the newest video. Like it, it would really inspire and encourage us. But most importantly, share it to encourage others. We'll welcome your comments and questions. Thank you. Have a blessed day.